This is the inside of the Coachman VIP 545. If I firstly move to the main control panel, you'll see at the moment that it's displaying the time, and it's also letting us know that we're connected to mains electricity. By pressing the arrows here, we can get information. So firstly, the voltage of the leisure battery, the internal temperature, the settings menu. Just hit enter to go into it, and then as you can see, you can alter different things. So we can, if I now hit enter, go in and adjust the display, so the contrast, how quickly it goes into standby, etc. We can then also alter button beeps on and off, the units that are displayed, whether it's Celsius or Fahrenheit, etc. for the temperature, whether notifications are on or off. We then also have the firmware just there, and then just exit again, and then we go back to the beginning. Water pump on and off just here. We need the water pump on so we can get water out of the taps and fill the boiler if it's being drained down. We then have the master button for all of the onboard lights, and then they can all be individually turned on and off on their own switches. And then we have the awning light on and off just here. Beside this control panel, we then have the control panel for the heating and hot water system. To turn the Aldi control panel on, just press here. And then on initial startup, it will let you know if you're connected to main supply and give you an internal temperature of the caravan. If I now press menu, it will bring up its basic functions. So at the top here, we have the thermostat for the heating, literally plus and minus to pick whatever temperature you would like it to be inside the caravan, and it will go right the way up to 30 degrees and drop all the way down to 5 degrees for frost protection. After that, we then have a picture of a shower head, and this is hot water. So hot water's off, hot water on, and then if I press it again, hot water in boost mode. Boost mode is very handy if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other, or if you just want hot water extremely quickly. If you do perform this boost and the heating's running, it will turn the heating off as it needs to use the extra power. So even though now I've turned the heating on and the hot water, the system hasn't actually fired up yet because we need to give it a power source. So if we're connected to main supply, we can run it on mains just here. So off, on, using 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatts or 3 kilowatts. This is all just dependent on the ampage of the site you're on to try and avoid tripping. And if I now turn that back off again, if you do not have main supply connected, you can run on gas. And what you can also do is run this system in dual fuel, which is very handy, especially in the winter months if you want to get up to temperature nice and quickly. If I now press the little picture of the cog just here, we can then go into the settings menu, and the first one is night mode. We can turn night mode on and off just here. We can then set the temperature we would like it to be for that period. We can then set when we would like night mode to begin, and whether it is for all days of the week or just individual, and then when night mode finishes. We can invert the backlight just here by highlighting this one, so the screen goes to black and the writing goes to white. And we can also tell the boiler that we do not want any hot water for that period. Very handy, especially if you're wild camping, so it's not heating up hot water, wasting gas whilst you're asleep. Next we have a picture of a sun, and it's basically the same again, but just for the daytime. Prioritise just here, and this is what the system prioritises in using when in that dual fuel mode. So at the moment it favours main supply over gas. If you are on an extremely low amp site, you can flip it on its head, so it's actually consuming more gas and less electricity. Brightness of the screen, etc. just here. This one is not used on this particular model. And then if you're going to be using night mode, day mode, etc., this is just so you can set the correct time and day of the week just here. And then if you highlight show at the bottom, it will then give you the time and day on the home screen. Next we have antimicrobial. If this one is active, what will happen in the middle of the night is the boiler will come on, rapidly heat itself up to kill off any bacteria that may be in the system. Temperature offset just for the onboard thermostat, so if you don't think it's quite correct, you can just slightly adjust it. High altitude mode just here, so if you are using the caravan 1,000 or more meters above sea level, just pop this on to make it run more efficiently. Key beeps on and off just here. One delayed start and stop to the system, so you could have it so the system fires up on Monday at 7 o'clock in the morning and continues to run until Saturday at 12 in the afternoon. Pump settings, just literally leave it set on thermal for the heating system. Factory reset, so if there is a problem you can just reset the control panel. External start, you do have to have additional SIM boxes added, etc. if you want to run this off an app. Language. Service, again more for the workshop, but it will let you know what everything is up to. And then installed accessories just here, so you can add extra bits if required. If I now move to the bench seat just here and remove the cushions, you can now see that we have the Aldi boiler just here. To drain the boiler down for travel or winterization, we have both travel drains just here and here. Before draining the boiler, make sure you've turned the water pump off, and then it's just a matter of flapping both of these levers up to drain the boiler down. If you are fully winterizing the caravan, I always suggest that you also open all the taps up as well. This will help release any airlocks in the system and make it drain down much more efficiently. When it comes to refilling the boiler back up again, make sure the drain valves are both flapped over as they are at the moment. Close all the taps inside the caravan, fill up the aqua roll, drop in the submersible, turn on the water pump, and then it will begin to refill the boiler back up again. Let the pump run for a few minutes and then begin opening the taps up. They'll cough and splutter as they force the air out of the system, and then once the water is running freely on both hot and cold, reclose and the system will fully reprime itself. Also in here we have the alarm box for the Sergeant alarm, the control board for the power touch motor mover, and then the regulator for the solar panel just there. Both fuses for the solar panel and the power touch motor mover just here. We then have some of the gas isolation taps for the caravan just here. So we've got the cooker, heating and hot water, and the fridge just here, all in the on position, and quite frankly they can stay like that. I always say if you do smell gas in the caravan, go to the source and turn off the gas bottle. Consumer unit just here. So we have the mains trip switches all along the top just here. So we've got the individual MCBs, main RCD, and then the test button just up here. So if anything's not working on main supply, just check to see if you've tripped at this point. And then directly underneath we then have all of the 12 volt fuses just here, and again labelled up, so if anything is not working on 12 volt, just check to see if you've blown a fuse. The battery charger actually sits in the back of the consumer unit just here. So just make sure that there is some ventilation to avoid overheating. Underneath the opposite bench seat you will find storage, and you will also find a main socket as well. In the overhead locker just here is the television aerial. This is also used for the radio as well. To raise the mast, just undo the collar just here and then push up and then get the aerial into the position that you require and then just lock back in place. Try to avoid over tightening these collars because you do run the risk of splitting the plastic. This green window here represents the back of the aerial, so you know which way it's pointing. And H currently stands for horizontal. We can flip the aerial onto its side into a vertical position for additional tuning if required, and you just turn the tail just here. At the back here we have the digital amplifier for the aerial, on and off just here, and then control the boost just here. And then if you are going to be using the external aerial socket on the outside of the caravan, all you need to do, and it does state it on the sticker just here, is remove this lead and then plug this one into its place. Do make sure that the aerial is down again for travel. And then also in here there is a switch which operates the courtesy light on this side of the caravan. Radio just here, on and off on the button that says SRC. Search for radio stations or change tracks just here. Volume control just here, CD just here, and then you have USB connectivity just here, easy graphic equalizer down here, and then if you need to go into its settings menu, just press the volume button in and then navigate just by rotating it, and then you can change anything. And then to get back out, just use the arrow button just here, and then off again on the SRC button. Dometic fridge just here, on and off just here, and this is an automatic model, so as long as it's on A for auto, it will find the best power source it can for you. So because we're currently connected to main supply, it's put us onto mains with a little picture of the 2-pin plug. If I was to now run outside and pull the mains lead out, it would then automatically attempt to fire itself up onto gas, and as soon as we connect up to a tow vehicle and start the engine, it would then automatically go over to 12 volt maintain to keep the fridge cold whilst on the move. We can manually select stuff, so if I wanted to, I could manually now put it onto gas, or I could manually put it onto mains, or manually put it onto 12 volt maintain. At the moment we're currently not connected up to a tow vehicle, so if I press this, it's going to beep at us to let us know that something's amiss. It would also do this if it had tried to light itself on gas and failed. You can press this button just here to make it attempt to light again. And we then have temperature control just here. Removable freezer box just here. Microwave, always advisable to remove all contents for travel. It's plugged in just here. To use the microwave, firstly just press the eco button to wake it up, And then we have quick start and stop at the bottom, auto cook, etc., defrost, timer select, etc., just there. And then directly beneath it we have the hob. So we've got the electric hot plate just there, which is exactly like the microwave. It will only work when the caravan's connected to main supply, and it operates just here, and the light comes on to let you know it's in operation. With the gas rings, it's just a matter of pushing in, twisting round, and then pressing the igniter. Directly beneath that we then have the grill, and then we also then have the oven. With the oven, you do not need to press the igniter, it's just a matter of just pushing in and twisting around. Above my head is the Omni vent fan. To use this, just wind the roof vent open. And then we have middle button to turn the unit on. Variable fan speed just by pressing. So extraction just there. And then if I press this button, I can then slow the fan back down again. And if I continue, the blades will then stop and spin in the opposite direction and then draw air in. Do make sure all roof vents are closed for travel. As we move to the centre of the caravan, we then have the washroom. So we have the basin just here, and the shower cubicle. Do make sure that the shower screen is secure for travel. Dometic toilet just here. So to open to the cassette, just pull this section out just here. And then it's just a matter of pressing the button to flush. And then close back up again. If this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you do feel resistance, just make sure that nobody's left it open. And then we have indicators just here. So this one will illuminate to let you know if you need to top up the flush water in the header tank. This one will illuminate to let you know if the cassette has not been inserted correctly. And then you'll get two indicators just here letting you know how full the cassette is. Fixed bed just here and plenty of room beneath it. And then in the wardrobe just here is the header tank for the Aldi heating system. Level indicator just here. Always make sure that you take your reading when the heating is up to temperature, as it will expand in the tank. If it does need topping up, you can do this yourself, but just make sure that you are using the correct Aldi top-up solution. And to do this, you just need to unscrew the top just here. TV bracket just here, and then we have TV connection points just there, and then light switches, etc. And then as I come back through the caravan, we then have the other television bracket just there, and again more TV connection points, 2 USB charge sockets as well. Front bed is nice and easy to make. It is just a matter of pulling this section out just here and then just dropping these cushions into the center. Tucked in the corner just here is just the PIR sensor for the alarm.